Here's a shocking twist that could send gas prices soaring. California just hit the brakes on its own plan to punish oil companies for excessive profits. In a stunning reversal that has consumer advocates crying foul, California's Energy Commission voted on Friday to shelve penalties targeting refineries that rake in excessive profits. The very same penalties that were rushed into existence when Golden State drivers were paying a jaw-dropping $8 per gallon back in 2022. But here's where it gets controversial. This 5-year delay comes at precisely the moment when Phillips 66 is gearing up to permanently shutter its Los Angeles refinery operations, with production halts scheduled to begin as early as next week. Talk about timing that raises eyebrows. The commission staff attempted to justify this dramatic policy pivot by stating that supply is plummeting faster than demand can adjust. Their solution? Slow down the bleeding of refinery capacity while simultaneously pushing harder towards zero-emission vehicle adoption. It's a delicate balancing act that critics say is doomed to fail. Governor Gavin Newsom, the Democratic leader who originally championed these profit penalties, has now completely flipped his stance. What changed his mind? The terrifying prospect of price explosions in 2026, when not one, but two major refineries will go dark. Phillips 66's LA facility and Valero Energy Corporation's San Francisco Bay Area plant. And this is the part most people miss. Both oil giants are essentially claiming that California's own environmental policies have made their operations financially impossible. They argue that the state's aggressive push away from gasoline-powered vehicles, culminating in the ambitious 2035 ban on new fossil fuel vehicle sales, has transformed what was once a gold mine market into a money pit. The Western States Petroleum Association celebrated this decision, having lobbied for an even more dramatic 20-year delay. They maintain that global oil markets, not state-level policies, drive price fluctuations, a claim that conveniently absolves refineries of any responsibility for price manipulation. However, consumer protection groups are absolutely furious about this about-face. Jamie Court, president of Consumer Watchdog, didn't mince words in his pre-vote letter, warning that removing the penalty threat essentially gives refineries a green light to recreate the price-gouging nightmare of 2022. The commission didn't stop at just postponing penalties. They also approved a comprehensive package aimed at preventing further refinery closures, boosting motor fuel imports from outside sources, and even encouraging development of California's domestic oil reserves, a move that seems to contradict the state's environmental goals. California faces a unique geographical challenge that makes this situation even more precarious. The Rocky Mountains create a natural barrier separating the Golden State from America's primary refining hubs along the Gulf Coast and throughout the Midwest. This isolation forces California to depend heavily on whatever fuel can be produced locally in California and Washington state, supplemented by expensive imports shipped in from Asian refineries. This geographic reality transforms every refinery closure into a potential crisis, giving the remaining facilities enormous leverage over both regulators and consumers. So here's the million-dollar question that nobody in Sacramento wants to answer. Is California essentially being held hostage by big oil? Are these companies strategically timing their departures to maximize their negotiating power and kill regulations they don't like? The timing certainly seems suspicious. Just as the state was preparing to crack down on excessive profits, suddenly, these refineries discover they can't operate profitably anymore. Coincidence or calculated strategy? What do you think? Is California making the right call by prioritizing supply stability over profit accountability? Or are state officials caving to corporate pressure at the worst possible moment? Should environmental goals take a back seat when faced with potential economic chaos? Or is this exactly when we need to hold firm on our principles? Share your thoughts on whether this decision protects consumers or simply rewards oil company manipulation.